Good evening and welcome back to the Valkyrie. I'm your host, DM, and all-round crazy person, Andrew Bazag. Whatever you want to call me, it's all good. And here we've got a special guest with us, including alongside our usual um, parade of misfits. Fark.
Hello, good to be back.
Thanks for joining us once again. It's been too long, both for Valkyrie Flight episode and have you along. So it's good to start both up again. So let's jump right into it, and let's start with the captain in his ready room. Still about 2 days away from Delphi after the morning after Q's visit last night.
Actually, if you don't mind me altering things a little bit, I'd actually like to start this right after the morning briefing.
Okay, yes, so I will clarify. The morning briefing has occurred. Communication has arrived that has the Delphinian royal family's roster and plan for when you arrive. The first day you arrive is basically is considered an acclimatizing day for the crew to get used to the different weather of Delphi, and then the day after that, there's all these different formal events, including starting with a formal welcoming, a dinner with the crew and with the Queen, a tour of a computer facility, and ending up the day with a garden party in the afternoon.
And it's going to be awful.
That is going to be a chock-full day and a lot of awkwardness for Ted. So I'm really looking forward to it. In addition to those formal things, there's a few informal scheduling as well, such as meeting the Chamberlain, which will be your contact and the person that will basically guide you through the rest of the event. Your contact. There's a few things such as dealing with the Palace family as they settle down on Delphi, and a few other small and minor things that just really aren't suitable for public, but small minor things that aren't for the public show. So after all that's happened, Ted, give it let's start off.
So after the morning briefing, he's actually going to call both Dr. Jar and Lieutenant Commander Savan into his office.
Okay.
Yeah. So he directs you to the office, and he directs you to the two chairs in front of his desk. And he takes up standing behind it. So, we need to talk about what happened.
And Kalani just kind of like looks askance at Safan.
I believe that would violate doctor-patient confidentiality, Captain.
I'm not talking about what happened between you two. I'm talking about the results.
In that case, would you care to be specific?
Yeah, that might help. So, Savan, I understand why, during the circumstances of the Q incident, you weren't at your post. You obviously were suffering through a medical condition, and you were not fit for duty at that time. It's understandable. Dr. Shar, however, I'm afraid there is some problems we need to work through.
Of course, Captain.
As it stands, and the way I view this situation recently, an outside observer could probably only conclude that you you had abandoned your post in a time of crisis, or right before one.
Captain, if I may, the doctor was tending to a medical emergency.
Did the doctor make any mention of tending to a medical emergency? Was there any indication towards that towards sickbay? Did you let anyone know what you were doing?
I was not aware it was a medical emergency until I reached Savan's quarters.
Then let me ask, Doctor, if one of your nurses had engaged in this kind of contact, would you just let it go?
It would depend on the situation.
Context is king.
I believe the appropriate phrase, Captain, is context is for kings.
I never liked that phrasing.
In any event, a Starfleet officer responding to save the life of another should be commended, not disciplined.
I would like to see it that way, yeah. But the fact of it is, I did have two people completely out during a situation we were actively fighting the Dominion. As it stands, regardless of the situation, the go-to protocol would have been to give it demerit and potentially demote you, Dr. Shar. At this time, I'm not going to do that, because I understand that it was a medical situation, and the case may be it was just a case of just a circumstance of unfortunate timing. However, I am going to have to mention this incident into your personnel record, and that may or may not affect your chances of promotion.
Understood, Captain.
Yeah. And as it stands, look, I can't exactly be throwing stones from a glass house here. But there is the possibility that your relationship became between you and your duty, both of you. And I'm not asking you to change that relationship. I'm not asking you to stop the relationship. But if it should happen again, you may want to reconsider either the relationship you have between each other or the commitment you have to this organization. Just food for thought for later. You're dismissed. And the captain will turn and look out the window.
And Kalani just makes a beeline out the door.
Safan doesn't leave.
Something on your mind, Commander?
Captain, I find your action here highly irregular.
It is a little outside my usual scope, isn't it?
Indeed, and make no mistake, I would have died without Kalani's intervention.
Yeah. Yes. I could believe that.
So I would reiterate, the most appropriate response would be a commendation for saving the life of the ship's tactical officer, would it not?
There's a possibility that had the combat with the Dominion continued, it would have been more advantageous to have Dr. Jar in her position at sickbay. If it was between you and your own life and the lives of many of your fellow crewmates, what would you choose?
If Kalani had been performing CPR, would your reaction be the same, Captain?
It's not the question I ask you, Commander.
But it is the question I am asking you. Medical relief is medical relief, no matter what form it takes, especially when it saves a life.
This isn't about your life, Commander.
Then, Captain, what is it about?
It's about Dr. Jar not being... It's either need of you being... Damn it. God damn it. It's about me just trying to get ahead of this before the freaking Board of Inquiry starts breathing down her neck.
If a board of inquiry were to, as you say, breathe down her neck, Captain, whose side would you be on?
You're dismissed, Commander.
Because if I know you, Captain, and having served under you for approximately 1 year, 5 months, and 16 days, I do, you would be on her side on a board of inquiry.
You are
Therefore,
dismissed.
it's highly illogical that you would not take her side now.
Get out of my goddamn office.
As you wish, Captain.
So I assume Safan stoically, Vulcanly walks out of the room.
Yes.
Okay. So does anyone have a quick scene they want to do before we move on to what next is planned?
I would like a scene with the captain, if possible.
And that was the next scene that was planned.
Hello.
Okay.
So my power just died.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh boy.
Alright, so is it okay, so you're not going to be on your computer to be able to do any rolls.
Basically. One second, I have to go check and see how things are in the house, or in the neighborhood.
Alright.
Oh,
so,
Paolo, I thought he said parrot. Jesus.
Wow.
Okay, emergency scene. We need an emergency scene. Seraton, you were last. All back to you.
So who wants a scene with Iris? Let's do
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Okay, Lorin can go, because I will talk to Tedak.
Okay, so where would you be in the morning during your shift?
In the morning, I would probably be... Loren would probably be in his office eating food and going over his schedule for the day, his appointments, everything like that.
Okay, so you get a knock on the door, a beep as on the door acknowledging someone's wanting to come in.
Come in.
It's Iris. Let me actually change the room here because I actually do have a Loren's office map. So it's Iris and she comes in. I was just wondering how things are going for you, checking up on the crew and just how things are getting ready for Delphi in a few days.
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm struggling a little bit to go over all of the information that I've been giving about Delphinian culture and politics and things like that. It's a lot to absorb all at once.
Yeah, there is a lot to go over, but how has the crew been responding? I suppose how is Ted?
I honestly wouldn't know.
Has he talked to you much? Has he seen you, or has he been too busy?
He's been a bit busy.
All right. Well, how has the rest been crew going? They feeling excited about this? What's from your?
Can I do a roll for that?
Yeah. Give me inside medicine with your psych focus. All right, so that is definitely it was a difficulty one, so you get a momentum for that. The crew is basically trying to get as much information and trying to make the same sense of the information as you are. A lot of the scientists and xenanthropologists, I guess, are trying to pass both the cultural information as well as the royal procedures and policies and all that kind of documentation that they've received. It's generally a lot of curiosity, but everyone's sort of doesn't really know what to make of it in terms of, well, what that means for Ted, what that means for the Valkyrie, what that means for the broader picture.
All right. Well, I can say that I know most of the crew is curious. They want to know. They're eager to learn about the Delphi. They're eager to learn about the history and the culture and the science and whatever is possible for them to grasp at. But they're all still cautious because they're not sure what it means. They're not sure what it means for them or the crew, for the ship, for them, for Starfleet, especially for the captain.
Well, this was when I first learned that the captain was royalty. It was ironically post that first released that little nugget of goodness. It was very weird, but I've been getting the same general idea anyway. Do you reckon we need to shore up any of these concerns that the crew have?
I think the best way for these issues to be shown up, as you said, is to let them experience the culture, let them learn. Where it concerns the captain and what it means for the ship and for the Federation, that'll come with time. We can, of course, give them encouraging words and nice speeches, but for the most part, it'll be what they can see for themselves.
Iris just silently shakes her head and just stands there in the middle of the room. All right, thank you for your time. I will let you get back to those parts of the crew that actually do come and see you on occasion.
That on occasion, the ones that I don't have to track down and hog tie and bring to my chambers.
Well, I will leave you to that hog tying of yours.
It was good to see you.
Ideas.
And with that, that'll end the scene. So we do have Ted still has some power issues, but he's still able to talk, and we'll just have to roll for him within the chat. So we will continue. So where did you want this scene with Lasan to happen? Is there any particular place?
Probably the same day in the mess hall or whatever it is. Lasan grabs lunch.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, mess hall it is.
So,
Oh God, where's the tab? Sorry, I have so many tabs open.
So what does Lasan usually get for lunch?
I've never really thought about that. She's probably very basic, so she probably has something like a soup, maybe, and a sandwich.
And to be really basic, a pumpkin spice latte.
Not quite that basic. We'll say functional. She's mom functional.
Okay. Well, during your... sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you had another question.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I don't. I'm just going to set the scene. Alright. Well, during your lunch, the captain's actually going to come up to you with what looks like a big soup mug. And, got a sec?
She kind of looks up at you, like, takes in your expression, pushes aside her small tray. Do you need Dr. Thazareth? Do you need Friend Thazareth? Do you need Ships Thazareth? Do you need Old Thazareth? Do you need Mom Thazareth? Like, what conversation mode are we in right now, so I know how to respond properly?
Oh, God, if I could give you an answer, this would be so much easier.
Okay, well, sit down then.
Alright. It's gonna pull up a seat, not the seat opposite to you, but on one of your sides. Alright, so. You mentioned before you had a commanding officer in the Andorian Imperial Navy, yeah? Self-Defense Guard?
Yes.
And you called him what was it? A righteous POS?
Something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. I think I get why you put your foot down on the bridge yesterday.
Admittedly, I don't recall.
I mean, you were right. We probably should have retreated to the first sign if we were being outmatched. I let my own... Yeah, I let my own need for some kind of... Let me know. God, that's the best way to say this.
Can I be frank, Captain?
Yeah.
You were... How is it? Attempting to prove your mettle?
Probably a bit of that. But also trying to... There was some significant worry of the idea of the Dominion dabbling with temporal distortion.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
However...
And that fear kind of overrode everything else for the time being.
I see. Captain, can I ask you a very honest question?
Sure.
Are you aware that you're only one person?
Currently, yes.
I highly doubt that.
Alright. Let's follow this train of thought. Oh shit,
Yeah.
no, go on.
And she's just gonna kind of gently slide her hands across the table and if he'll let her, take hold of Ted's hands.
Sure.
She will scoot forward in a very motherly manner and then grab Ted's shoulder and then start shaking him vigorously.
I was waiting for that.
Captain Tatachesko, you are only one man, and I understand your need to become some great man in your own mind, and I understand that you are captain and Starfleet representative, and you are worried about an oncoming war. You're worried about constant time dilation and distortions. You're worried about incursions into your crew by Section 31. You're worried about the fact that we are going to meet your family within the next 72 hours. Calm down!
But I've tried to stop drinking.
No, not okay, Ted. Ted, I love you dearly. Like a frustrating pet. Sometimes I just want to smack the shit out.
Would you believe me if I said you were not the first person to say that?
And I would fight to be the first one in line. However, I say this not to be cruel, but I need you to understand that all of the titles that you have and everything, it's not worth it if you're unhappy. And it's not worth it if we're unhappy. And it's also not worth it if we're all dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I get it. I used to be that person, trying to prove myself, and then at some point I just realized that you need to learn to accept things as they come to you.
That's gonna be difficult.
I imagine.
People that go in the time travel
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, there's a whole bunch of people who just have regrets out.
I just... People make mistakes, and we all live with that, and you have to realize that you're not perfect, and that you're infallible, and that we are still here for you, and we trust you. But you need to know that trust works both ways.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to get that repeatedly pounded into my head, I think.
I will make you a little holographic projection that you can stare at in the morning while you brush your teeth.
Oh, some apologies I need to make to both Jar and Safan.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
You know there's going to be some kind of inquiry about what happened, yeah? And they're gonna...
Can I ask
I'm just worried they're gonna...
Why is that your problem?
Because I'm the captain. And they're my crew.
I understand that. Why are you protecting them from the fact that there's going to be an inquiry?
Because they're my friends and I care about them.
Okay, that's fine. But they
because
don't...
I'm worried they're gonna they're looking for someone to blame. And I'm worried they're just gonna nail it all on Jar.
I'm certain that events like this have happened in the past. Not to mention, as noble as your want to keep them from protection, trust the mother on your crew that sometimes you're the bad guy in that situation.
I'll think give that some thought.
They're grown up. You need to kick them out of the nest, as it.
It's difficult.
Yeah, that's what running a crew is like. It's what being an adult is like.
Sucks.
Yes, it does. Look, I would offer to take your place in some way if I could, but then I would be the person in charge.
No, I gotta fix my own mistakes.
I worry that you're too. I don't want to say too young, but I'm worried that this isn't right for you.
Being the captain?
No offense, but you don't always give off a captainly vibe. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't know how to say this without sounding condescending.
I mean, it's no secret that it does take a certain kind of person to succeed at being a Starfleet captain.
I just think that you still have some growing up to do, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe.
But that just could be the mother in me wanting to protect you.
Maybe. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. This whole thing was kind of just thrust upon me.
The older I get, the more I realize that maybe I should have taken Starfleet up on your offer to run a ship.
You think about going back on the command track?
Yes and no. It's more, sometimes I just look at you and I want to give you a break.
Well, I mean... I still got Rogueson.
She's an excellent second officer.
She's gonna go places, watch.
Or first officer. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
I'm sure she will. Pretty soon, she'll be the one bossing you around. But honestly, Ted, don't be afraid to show weakness. It's terrifying, but it's a sign of we're going to be here when you fall. And we will help you get back up again.
Okay.
Yeah. Now my soup is cold.
Oh, I can go get you a replicate new one. Which kind did you get?
It was carrot ginger.
All right. Yeah, that's probably a good place to end that scene.
Okay, before we do, could I get you to do insights command check?
Who of us?
Ted.
Okay. Give me 1 second to switch back to the desktop.
You got the power back?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So 1 second.
Cool. I almost forgot to give someone the permission to roll for you.
Boom.
Oh, there we go.
Insight command, my best and worst stats.
This is just a difficulty 1.
Okay, I'm not going to throw any extra die at it then. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So
Thanks for the momentum, Tad.
So you do remember during Q that the sun wasn't at that final question and answer thing for the magazine that was there, and you just sort of remember that. Yeah, she wasn't there for that experience.
Yeah.
That's all. If you want to do anything with it, you can. If you don't,
Okay. Hold that close. Oh, that's it for us, I think. So.
okay. So Stefan, late after lunch, later in your shift, there is a certain Bajoran that you have become to know as Tokaldera. The newly appointed liaison for the Pellis family post the incident, in inverted commas, with the former commander. And this Bajoran is just...
Sorry, what's his name again?
Tokal, I'll type it in chat.
Thank you.
Because I'm pretty sure we didn't determine the name earlier. So yes, he has just come to you and approached you, and he's talking about for the kids. Maybe if there is a bit of time for them to interact with the other members of the crew in a more controlled and organized fashion under your supervision, for like into sciences, into the medicine, into engineering, what. But we if that's so that's his. That's his request.
I see no problems granting this request.
All right, since we are already an hour into the show, a bit, I won't. 40 minutes into the show, we won't go into any of the details of that. But just most of the next day has been organised with Lasan and others, whoever wants to.
I would like a scene with Ted towards the end of shift, actually, on the next day.
Okay, so this is the day just before they arrive at Delphi, and
Correct.
at the end of the
This will be
shift,
very short.
Mzaka, you pull Ted aside. Where do you want this to happen?
Ready room.
Ready room.
Yeah. This is gonna be really quick. So I have to ask, since we're beating to is it us, them, you see, he's going. You're seeing him like having this like complex emotion, like he doesn't know how to phrase this, but you're getting like he's trying to say like, okay, how are we supposed to handle this with me and you and them?
Oh. You realize Ted has not considered this at all? God, I mean, do you even want to bring it up?
I mean, we haven't even burned up to the crew, but we're meeting your family and. Ugh.
Yeah. It's just if we bring it up, that means you're going to get really involved.
Something tells me I'm going to get involved no matter.
I'm not against it. But that means we're going to actually use labels now. But
I mean, I'm not opposed to labels.
I'm learning them. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. Just relearning relationships is a work in progress.
Let's just call it a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. So do we talk about this thing in front of state leaders? I mean,
state leaders who are your family and will eventually, if this thing is going to last, going to be important to the thing.
Oh, God, I hope not. I don't want everyone to come back to this place. I'm hoping this is just a one and done deal. I am praying this is just a one and done deal.
Okay, just do me a favor. Before I go to bed tonight, I want to have something sent to my pad that gives me, like, in case it comes up, procedures.
I'll do the research. There's probably something official I can look up.
All I want. I just
Okay.
don't want to get you in any trouble. I will give you enough of that on my own.
You promise?
Absolutely. And I give Ted a kiss on the cheek.
No. I feel like I stay a little bit.
And that's where I want to end the scene. This really cute moment.
Yep.
All right, so the final shift comes to an end, and it's just the start of your next shift. So you have all night to fret and worry as you finally arrive at Delphi. The captain receives a hail.
Oh boy, here we go.
So this is where Fark comes in.
Oh no! The captain has not has not
Okay.
put the hail on screen yet. He's kind of frozen. He just tense and kind of holding onto the sides of his chair, just staring at the image of Delphi in the front screen.
You have to answer it, sir.
All right. Charo on screen.
Aye, Captain.
And Fark, you're there?
Yes, you see the visage of a red lizard-like creature. Not unlike Ted, actually. He's smiling, teeth agape, and he says, Prince Pedicesco Alhambra Corsegui, Ombrasec of the House of Volantrus. Fourth heir to the throne of Delphi and captain of the Valkyrie, I presume.
Speaking.
You're
Who might you be?
seem so tense. What is wrong? Don't worry. It is me. Your cousin. Do you not remember me? I suppose you wouldn't remember me. But it is I, your cousin. Haflinar. But you may call me Flynn. Welcome to Delphi. And to your crew, of course.
On behalf of the Federation, we are gracious guests And we accept.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, we are going to send you the landing codes very soon. Can't wait to meet you in person. Would you or your crew be interested in any history of Delphi? I'm not meaning to toot my own horn, of course, but I'm a bit of a data scientist, perhaps in my spare time. And I have collected several thousand gigaquads of history of Delphi. Would you be interested?
I can say for a fact that I'm certain many members of this crew are interested.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I will have my technicians beam them over as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Now, let's see. Where can we put you? We will place you right down.
The Valkyrie is an Akira-class vessel, and unfortunately, she is not built for landing. Is it possible if we can dry dock position in orbit?
Oh, let's see. Well, we do have just the place. I will have that information sent to you, and also we'll send you coordinates to beam you down right near the palace. How does that sound?
That sounds terrific.
It is terrific. Oh, it's going to be so exciting to meet you. We haven't seen or heard from you in such a long time. Now, what else could we do? Is there anything that we could do for you right now, perhaps?
If you have any repair technicians, we actually ran into some combat on the way here. Possible
combat?
We can get our...
Who would attack you?
I'm afraid the details of that are classified.
Classified? Well. Very well. I suppose Starfleet can keep its secrets. But no worries. You get into dry dock. We'll have our technicians take a look at your ship.
Excellent. You can coordinate with my chief engineer.
Wonderful. That is fantastic. And let's see. What is the time? How about we have you come down... Oh, what time is it? What time is it?
It's on where you are. It just happens to be 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, let's see. It's early in the morning. Let's see. How about we have you come down about 1500 your time? I mean, it's sort of the early afternoon. It'll be nice. Everybody will be relaxed. Everybody will be happy to see you. What do you say? Your crew is invited, of course.
Sure, let's go with that.
Oh,
Ted is
wonderful.
saying all this through clenched teeth.
And Flynn is just so excited. Oh, I am so excited to finally meet you. This will be wonderful. See you soon. And then disconnect.
This is who you were terrified of?
He seems really nice.
No, he is a snake. He's a snake in sheep's clothing. Do not get lured in.
Captain, are you sure you're not projecting right now?
Well, he's certainly projecting his voice.
I mean, he seems very sweet and forthcoming.
Do not be seduced by their overtures of friendship. They are monsters.
Captain.
Doesn't that make you a monster?
I'm just gonna lean over to Kalani and be like, get some Valium. Get some Valium now. Get the blood pressure down.
Yeah, Kalani would have been on the bridge. Everybody would have.
Kalani just kind of nods and she goes, I see that.
All right. Well, I guess we're going down. Senior staff. That means you too, Roxon, because we're going to be heading to dry dock anyway.
It'll be rather interesting to see what's happening. This has been rather an introduction.
There's a Starfleet contingent on this planet, isn't there?
There is, according to the notes that I've been able to collect, yes, there's a small, mainly communications, ensuring that the local populace is able to connect through the relays and Federation relays to the broader network.
Oh, the tech support.
Essentially.
Let's see if we can squeeze in some time to pay him a visit today, because I bet they probably could use a few resources.
From looking at this itinerary, we've got plenty of time to acclimatize. She uses inverted double quotation marks.
Captain, is this a dress uniforms?
I was just at as soon as you start saying that, you see Hassan had her hand up and she just points towards Muzan.
First of all, Dr. Jar, could I get you to do a insight medicine check for me?
Oh. Interesting.
That vein is about to pop out of your head and just blood everywhere.
Alright. Insight medicine. Xenobiology focus applied.
Yeah, I'm gonna allow that.
Alright. What's the difficulty?
The difficulty will be 2.
Ha! Well, I made it.
Oh no.
Okay, so
I'm gonna re-roll that.
This just
I have cautious
overprescribes it, and
you didn't spend the momentum.
zombie for the entire
you didn't
show.
spend your momentum.
Oh wait, no, I didn't spend a momentum. Never mind.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So the captain is definitely stressed right now. The problem is, you don't actually. Normally, there'd be a fairly standard anxiety medicine that you'd use, but it just so happens that the xenobiology of Delphinians isn't quite compatible with that, and you somehow don't actually have the right medicine available. Something happened to it.
Oh, good. Maybe we can visit a clinic on Delphi and I can get the right stuff.
So yeah, you would be able to as a medical doctor, you would be able to legally acquire that kind of medicine through proper channels, which you would be able to know what to do with. There was something else.
Dress uniform.
Dress uniform. Oh yes. I know Safan and everyone else. The at least 3 people that rolled successfully when you first got the royal protocols. Yes, you do have to wear dress sheets. Enough of you would know that to have to be able to ensure everyone is dressed accordingly.
These are the super
Or
nice
at least
late
have-
PS9 ones.
At least have the dress uniforms with them. From
Some
what
of the
you
uniforms that
understand.
Thomas Moroni has.
So from the you won't need them for the acclimatizing for right now, but for any official engagement, such as everything going on tomorrow, you basically have to be in dress uniforms all day.
Blech.
Oh god, those things itch.
I don't even know if I have the proper amount of pips.
You can just replicate those.
But I don't want to.
Alright, well, everybody
Hold
get
on,
ready.
I'll give you an extra one. Because we're both the same rank.
Most of you are the same rank, to be honest.
It's true.
Yeah, your first officer's overdue for a promotion.
The
Yeah,
first
but if she
officer's
gets
the
her own
only one
command-
commander.
Point.
She's
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone
We
else
have
is
one
lieutenant
commander,
commanders.
2 lieutenant commanders, and then everyone else is a lieutenant, so I think we're fine.
No, we have like 4. 4 lieutenant
As-
commanders.
3 lieutenant commanders, if I remember.
I thought Dr.
Oh.
Jar was... Yeah, no. It's Safan, Jar, Mzaka, and I believe...
I guess.
Lasan, yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4. That's not.
Anyways.
Are we gonna get lodging on the planet, or are we gonna have to get to return to Valkyrie?
So there will be lodging on the planet. There's no point in acclimatizing if you're not going to be spending a lot of time on the planet. The whole point of acclimatizing is to be on the planet and to get used to the weather.
It's a Federation. It's a Federation world. It's not like.
So the gravity's fine. It's just that it's rather humid.
It's like acclimatizing to Florida.
It's acclimatizing to
That's a
Florida.
concern for Stefan. He'll end up drowning in his own lungs.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's acclimatizing to Florida humidity, but with Seattle rain in winter.
Now, Delphi is a wonderful planet. The palace is in a tropical paradise. It's in an island in the middle of the ocean. Very beautiful.
Gonna make my first stand up.
Have me close that communication channel.
it's just like an ad that he says afterwards.
We're getting the tourist information. It's like when you check in a hotel when you get that one channel.
And the channel has ads with Ted Atrisco's face on them saying "Join Starfleet."
Of course they do. Of course they do. Goddamn.
And there's also the occasional Ferengi trying to sell you perhaps full of evils.
2 weeks free.
All right. So I assuming we all get ready for 1500.
Can I go down a little bit earlier, Captain?
Why?
I want to explore.
I mean, yeah, it's a Federation planet. You can visit whenever you want.
Yay!
Can I just clarify what's the official position on general crew? Are they?
If they're allowing it, I would allow shore leave for the crew.
Okay. So Iris organizes shore leave before she.
Not essential personnel. We do need some on board to help fix the
Yeah.
battle.
So there is going to be a couple of hours, like a day. Like everyone's going to have at least one. It sort of rotates, so there's everyone has the opportunity for at least a day. But just before you'd go down there, Stefan, you're approached by Caldera one more time. Stefan, there is another concern I have that I've just realized. The Romulan life signatures are going to be quite different from that to the locals. And I was concerned that they might be easily distinguishable from orbit. So I was wondering if you would help organize something that might obscure life signs, at least from a long range.
I believe a subdermal implant could be used to mask their biological readings from long-range sensors.
Can you give me an insight security check?
Sure. Insight or reason?
Give me insight. Actually, reason.
You know, my reason's actually lower, but I'll go with it.
Oh, well, whatever's
Damn
higher.
fault.
Whatever's
Oh, okay.
higher.
All right. What's my difficulty?
It'll be just a 1.
Okay. Espionage or infiltration focus?
I'm gonna allow.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you a short private message.
Okay.
Ooh, secrets. Also, please know that at every chance she gets, Lasan is gonna totally rib Captain.
I assume there's going to be a lot of balls that gets busted this episode.
You realize every single officer who's going on shore leave is coming back approved by the first Ophidian and Starfleet t-shirts, right?
Yeah, basically.
Lasan already owns 3. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, Rin has a mug. He drinks out of it every day.
Yeah, but now they're coming back also
And then he
with
wonders why the
baseball
captain
caps.
doesn't come into his office.
Yeah, but now they're coming back with
Okay,
baseball caps.
There you have your message. So,
Yeah.
with,
No,
with
that makes sense, and I would still suggest a subdermal implant.
okay.
And it's something administered with a hypo, so...
Yeah, so he sort of looks at you and doesn't really say anything more, and then just leaves that in your hands, and
Okay.
and starts to do the final preparation for the Palace family to move to their new home, wherever that will be on Delphi. All right. So as everyone gets together,
I assume we're doing one final briefing at Transporter Room 1.
do you want the Palace family and their liaison to be there or not just yet?
If they're comfortable with it, I think we should. Everybody should be there at one time.
Okay. Yep. Well, yeah. Apart. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Fuck. I guess you would be the one to confirm this, but I don't think there would be. But I'll just leave that with you if there was any concern from the Delphinians regarding the refugees coming down with the initial crew.
I think the Delphinians would prefer the Romulans stay on the ship. No idea. Perhaps they might be medically quarantined. Perhaps.
You do get medical information. There is no need for that, particularly since, from what you've told, they've been on the Valkyrie, essentially quarantined with the crew for a fair while.
They are Romulans as well.
And refugees.
Wow!
And
You
there
Delphinians
it
are all
is!
racist.
I mean, if I need an excuse to turn around and go home, that's it.
This is not the official stance of the Delphinian Empire.
Delphinian Empire? Oh,
Kingdom of Delphi.
Whatever it is.
Nope. Now we know. The word is out. It's an empire.
Bomb
all
them from
my
orbit.
scheming for Cassini.
Very well. As a token of goodwill to Starfleet, we shall receive the refugees.
Federation.
Will be taken
members.
Technically, Delphi is a part of the Federation.
Recently, but yeah.
Recently.
A minor part.
It could be two things.
I'm just making that little plot point is clear.
Oh, I'm sure he's still worded it in that exact fashion.
All right.
With a very happy hotel register smile.
And Ted's just going, see, this is why I didn't want to come here.
I would like to make a roll really quick, Baz.
What would you like to do?
I want to make a cultural roll because Mazako was up all night reading the pad that Ted left him. I want to make a roll. He is wearing his dress uniform, but if there is any kind of accessory that a consort is supposed to wear, he is going to be wearing it.
Okay. Give that. That'll be a 2. Give me
What attribute?
a difficulty 2, reason science.
Ooh, recent science. I'm not terrible at that. Nope.
So you're having trouble finding reference to any specific piece of equipment or jewelry. There is mentions, of course, of consorts, both male and female, but there isn't any. They don't really go into any. What information you have doesn't really go into any fine detail about the procedures involved. It's possible, likely Ted doesn't know.
Okay, it's one of those like, if it's in there, it's so labyrinthian. You're getting confused, and you're not sure if it's Constantine or Istanbul. So got it.
Yeah,
It's nobody's business for the Turks.
if it is in there, it's just a very minor thing that is probably just in completely as an offhanded remark to a completely other different section, and you just can't find it in amongst all the mess.
That's fine. Thank you.
All right, so everyone is in their dress uniforms or has their dress uniforms with them.
Yep.
Ted's taking one of those little tube luggage things.
Yep. Is it an octagon or a hexagon?
Probably an octagon.
Octagon. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember. But yeah, the Romulans are there with their liaison. They've got similar, slightly larger containers, but they didn't have much when you picked them up anyway. And eventually, I'm just going to do a roll just to double check everything is going to be fine.
220s, we end up in the middle of the ocean.
I'm already on the planet. This is my new home. Surprise! This is Laton's retirement.
It's like Andoria, but melted.
So it is okay. It takes a while, but it is transport to transport. But it's just perhaps not as fast as you would normally expect something like this to be, just in terms of people throughput.
It's the TMP movie effect, not the TNG one.
Essentially, yes. So the temperature right now is about 37 degrees Celsius or about 82 Fahrenheit.
No.
It is quite warm for this Earth, and
I definitely brought my dress uniform. I did not wear.
Let me guess. This is like winter, isn't it?
This is perhaps late spring where it starts to get warm, but it isn't at its hottest yet.
Oh God.
Hassan is also wearing.
There's still about another, like, say, 5 degrees Celsius or about 10 degrees Fahrenheit that it usually goes higher.
Lasan is definitely also wearing very big sunglasses.
Is she also wearing like a sun hat? Because I could totally see that.
Yeah, sun hat, sunglasses, like capri pants, and like a short sleeve shirt.
An SPF 9000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody wants the Andorian turning red.
Listen, also give me an insight security check for me.
Oh, good. Sure.
Oh, no.
Do I have any focuses?
I guess not, but I'll just go and double check. I'm gonna allow survival for this, just to get a lay of the land. There is So roll me insight security with a focus.
And what's the difficulty?
This will just be 1.
I pressed the button. Please roll.
I better roll again. There we go.
Yay! Wow.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so 2 momentum. You do a quick look at the area and just get a feel for the type of space that it is. There are a number of royal guards. I don't know how they necessarily would look, but
the royal guard. Interesting. No, never mind. Go continue.
So I mean, but they clearly have a uniform and which is far more suited to this environment. They have phases, but they're not Federation standard phases. They're sort of. I don't really know how. They're more, I guess, sleek and more rounded than anything.
Like 50s ray guns.
But yeah, exactly like 50s ray guns, but without the sort of rings around the emitter end. It just sort of comes to a point, and the particle ejection system.
That's so cool. Lasan definitely wants to study one later. Lasan has been nerding the fuck out, by the way.
Otherwise, this seems to be more of a large cottage than a palace. But you do see there to be just in the distance the actual main palace building. So you're still on the palace grounds, but this is a more, I guess, private and intimate setting than the actual.
These are the guest quarters.
These are essentially the guest quarters.
So I guess when they all arrive on the pad, I will just give them a wave.
Yeah. Fox character had a Flynn is there to greet you, and a few attaches who are alongside just to assist are there, and it's basically just him, his staff, and the royal guard. As far as that's from what you can see, that's everything in the area.
Small welcoming party.
I guess the captain takes the lead and we go walking up.
All right, so so when you're done,
the captain is, of course, in full uniform.
Yeah. All right, so I'll leave it. I'll switch maps and then hand it over to Falk for a bit. Let me find the right. I've got too many maps. This thing is too large.
Oh, yeah, I've had that problem.
So yes, I actually didn't create the map, but I have the image. So give me a moment, because I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, go ahead. So I'm having the mental image that this place just reminds me of the Naboo Palace, but it's in the middle of the ocean.
Ooh.
That's
You're not too far off.
quite accurate.
Yeah.
A big floppy sun hat with antenna hole.
But for some reason, the background music that I'm in my head right now is the Citadel music. The Presidium Citadel.
But more
music.
tropical.
Yep.
See, for me, it's Dragon Roost Island, so.
The Presidium music, but it's done on it's done in Caribbean, the Caribbean
Steel
piano.
drums?
Yeah,
And
steel
steel
drums.
Steel drum.
And also is somehow MIDI.
MIDI scale drums that exists.
That's perfect. And as
And now I can
beam down.
There's the images.
There's the images.
I don't want that yet. I want this one now.
I don't like when he says, I don't want that one yet.
That's probably like the throne room or something.
I've got different angles of basically this whole area, so it's let me tell you, it's nothing that is necessarily...
Nothing sinister. Nothing sinister here, no.
Well, Baz, while you're working on that, I approach with open arms, say, Prince Tedesco. Or do you prefer Captain?
Captain would be preferred, and I also go by Ted.
Captain Ted. All right. Lovely. I give a very complicated bow. Let me describe it to you. Left hand over the chest, right hand out to the side, and as I bow, bring the right hand in and across. And I say, it is a pleasure to meet you, Prince.
He does the hokey pokey and he turns himself about.
That comes later.
It doesn't mean anything.
Your crew is rather talkative. Perhaps you should introduce me.
The crew to Valkyrie, this is Haflinar, Chamberlain to the House of Ovantris, and the current Queen of Delphi, and I believe first cousin.
First cousin, indeed. And I give another curtsy to the rest of the crew. Welcome, welcome to Delphi. What do you think of the place? We've done a lot. We've dolled it up. Speechless, I see.
So
I know, I understand the feeling. Every time I look around, I turn to the palace and I say, what a gorgeous place.
So to explain things a little bit for Delphi, the capital city of Delphi is an artificial island in the middle of their largest ocean.
It's like Stargate Atlantis.
That is correct.
Yeah. But it was designed to be kind of grandiose and opulent and show off the ability of the Delphidian people.
I totally forgot that they were own aquatic species, and I was like, what?
Yep.
Just ignore me over here.
An interesting show of conspicuous wealth.
Well, I mean, of course we are aquatic, but if we are to receive, land-based forms, of course we would prefer something, above the water.
Well, we're semi-aquatic.
If you could only see the cities underneath. Oh, it is so beautiful. Perhaps you'll have a chance during your time here.
Okay,
have you had the opportunity to check out any of the history that I have sent you?
Oh, I believe my science officer has just gobbled that right up.
Lasan waves a pad from the back.
Okay, so this map that you're seeing is more of an indication of the kind of buildings. There's a lot of pillars, a lot of it's sort of I'm going to describe it as Greco-Roman meets Atlantis.
Greek.
Greco-Roman.
like with more it's Greco-Roman but with a lot of water influence.
So it's Greco-Roman but Stargate Atlantis.
So it's literally Venice.
Yeah,
kind of, yeah.
Well, strangely enough, our architecture didn't come from Earth of any kind. It's just odd coincidence that we, everybody enjoys columns. Do you know? Just doesn't it scream just regalness, royalty?
No, it screams something alright.
You know what's the best part about this? Knowing that Alpha Centauri's native human species also was also Greco-Roman.
Well, I mean the construction is all in the data that I've sent you, but now is it's not. I'm going on about this. Please, Ted. I should call you Ted, I suppose. You are here to meet the Queen. Am I right?
We're here to secure lodging for the refugees that we have.
Oh yes, of course. No, that's all taken care of. But you are here to meet the Queen.
And Ted just kind of is in the middle of either wanting to start an argument or just look completely defeated.
Ted, you seem. I can tell. I have been. I will admit, I've been stressing about this myself quite a bit. I mean, I haven't seen you. I can't remember the last time I've seen you, if I've seen you at all.
I'm not sure.
I mean, this is a hell of a thing meeting you. I mean, we're the same. Look at me. I'm red. You're red. Lovely colors. Clearly we're family, but but besides my point. Have you been stressed out? You look stressed.
Mazaka's hiding his.
Mazaka's gonna come behind Ted, start massaging like he has been very stressed out.
Rin is going to studiously study a data pad as if he doesn't exist right now.
Who is this? This is a it's a Cation. I've not met one of these in a long time. Hello. I'm just bowing to Mazaka here.
Yeah, I should introduce my crew here.
Oh, please do, please.
All right. Well, obviously you've already met Lieutenant Commander Thazareth, my chief science officer. This is Commander Rogeson, my first officer on board.
Wonderful to meet you.
Yep, that is Lieutenant Commander Safan, my chief tactical and security officer.
Pleasure.
Salute.
This is Dr. Kalani Jar, my chief medical officer.
And a Trill. Oh, how wonderful. How many lives have you lived?
This is my 4th.
4. Oh, this is amazing. I would love to pick your brain about that sometime. I hope I have the chance.
This is Lieutenant Rin, our resident psychiatric officer.
Counselor?
Yep.
Yes.
And this is Lieutenant Commander Mzaka, chief engineer and my boyfriend.
What boyfriend?
What? What? What?
Well, that's... Oh.
The rest of the crew hadn't found out yet.
Yeah, what does Mzaka do as minute Ted says that?
He just reached out his hand and said, "Charm to me."
Well, that is just wonderful.
I imagine both Kalani and Lasan like turn at the same time, just like fingers raised, like what?
Yeah.
Well, I see.
We'll talk about it later.
I will say Iris's head is slightly more tilted than normal.
Safan's eyes are just cold.
Rin is just wondering how many sessions he's going to have to schedule with everyone after all of this.
Well, I hope none. I hope the wonders of Delphi will just melt all your worries away. Now, my assistants here, they will take you all to your rooms. You will, of course, be in the there's the palace, and there's the adjacent area, which is we receive visitors. So, Captain, your crew will be and the Romulans. I know you're a little concerned. I am also concerned about them. The refugees are our concern too. So you will all be housed there. Now you, Prince, Captain, you, however, your accommodations will be in the palace, and I hope that will not be a concern for you. I assure you that you will be given plenty of space. plenty of privacy if necessary, and we will take care of this in quick fashion.
Fine.
Oh, Ted. Oh, perhaps we should put you in one of the hot springs. Actually, I have an idea. We'll get back to that. Now, please, come along. And then all the pursers and everyone pick up the luggage and everything, and everyone goes off. And I just turn around and just go up. It's so wonderful to see everybody. And my assistants are gathering up your luggage and taking you to where you need to go.
I assume we're just walking down the path, this incredibly opulent pathway.
It's pretty opulent.
Yeah. I just turned to the crew as we're walking. If you got any questions, ask them now.
I already got the tour. Thank you.
Oh, I'm
Captain,
sorry.
A word.
Did you have any questions?
One second. Looks like my tactical officer needs for something. And we separate from the group for a little bit.
Very well.
I'm showing Kalani the pictures I took already on my little holo camera. How does technology work in Starfleet?
It would be a holocamera.
Basically, however you want.
Yeah.
It's a holo camera.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I assume Safan and I are by a pillar.
Yeah, so you get about 5 feet away on the other side of the pillar.
We move one square.
I mean, you can.
Square.
There's a side room that you can go into and close the door.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Captain, permission to speak freely.
I think I deserve this, so go ahead.
For you to have raised concerns about the nature of Kalani's relationship with me, in lieu of the relationship you recently revealed with our chief engineer, rings extremely hollow.
It is hypocritical, yeah. And after discussing the matter with Lasan, I realized I was being a pig-headed asshole. I've already amended Jar's personnel record.
I appreciate that, Captain. However, I also believe Kalani deserves an apology.
And she'll get it.
Thank you, Captain.
Yeah, just as soon as I can talk without having to clench my teeth every 30 seconds.
Indeed.
But yeah, no, I was a pig-headed asshole. And I was worried about
Not
Dr.
the
Shaw.
exact words I would have used, Captain, but the spirit is correct.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, no, we're good. I'm sorry.
And Safan simply nods.
Do you think we could just stay here forever for the entire trip? Or are they going to come looking?
They are bound to come looking at some point, Captain.
Yeah, probably. Alright, let's go.
Come along, please. There's things to do.
Yeah. Come along to this land of wealth and splendor, I get it.
You're not proud of... You know, I have a feeling you seem a little bit... Are you not proud of your heritage?
Just the biggest death glare.
Rin is gonna look over, what would have solved this? Coming to see me when you were scheduled.
The somehow bigger death glare.
Just a big, toothy grin.
Yeah, two
just-
very big smiles.
Just the word menacing in Japanese starts appearing next to Ted.
Nazaka steps back and is just like, going to watch
He's got the
with the
anime
family.
like pulsing vein and like drops of sweat.
Yep.
Rin would actually like to do something. He would like to totally do some kind of body read on our tour guide to see if he's actually meaning everything he says to us, or if he's just being a total royal dickhead just because.
Hey, he's being charming.
Okay. Do you want to oppose
I mean, it might not be
this?
sincere, but he's trying.
Do you want to oppose
Kalani's
this,
like, he
Vark?
sounds an awful lot like that Guardian that went crazy on us.
Future
you're
Lasan
muted,
is like,
Vark.
he sounds a lot like a Ferengi. I'm gonna run.
There we go.
Don't break the fourth wall.
So, do you want to oppose a check against you, Vark, for social stuff?
Very, very good.
All right. So, if you want to do, let's do a presence or daring for you, Vark, command, and for Lorin, I guess this will be insight.
I wish there was a way to whisper rolls in the system.
There is.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you go over to the settings and you take it to whisper roll the GM. Or query whisper. Let's do that.
You can do a DM roll, I think.
Yeah. If you go into the character sheet in the settings, there's a way to tweak the roll, so it'll still be the nice roll, but it'll just be sent to me instead of.
Yeah, go the little gear icon next to Starfleet personnel file at the top.
Sheet settings.
Yeah, you go to sheet type over the right. That drop down box.
And don't forget to set this back because I am not going to.
Yeah.
Remember.
Whisper roll to GM. Okay.
Yeah.
Or you can do query.
All right. So
And-
both of you have focuses on this.
Sorry?
Both of
Focuses.
you will have a focus. So when you do the roll, tick yes on the focus thing.
Okie doke.
And people can buy dice.
I will go ahead and do that because I have cautious medicine.
And I have cautious command.
Yep, so
Oh, no.
they're both
Oh,
getting
God.
dice. So
So what do I do?
So set
So-
the number of dice to roll to 3
Okay.
On task roll.
on task roll.
On task roll. Okay.
And
Task roll
then
3.
just hit the Starfleet Delta next to it, to the left of it.
Okay.
There we go. I've got Fark's roll. Please re-roll 1 dice to me, Fark. Change the number to 1 and click it again. There we go. And
All
I'll
right.
just-
I will re-roll that 0 just because.
They almost want you to roll a complication.
I mean,
Okay, so Lorin, you won that roll. You get a momentum. So for this, I'm going to say that he is. How am I going to say this? He's definitely holding something back, but he is definitely he is definitely interested, at least in the captain and the crew.
With my ship's counselor talent, I get a free momentum spend for an extra information.
Yep. What do you want to use that for?
Is it possible, just from this that I'm looking at, is it possible to gauge whether or not this is a nefarious curiosity or a benevolent curiosity?
Play your hand.
What you get is that he has plans for Ted. You can't gauge what kind of plans they are, but there are definitely plans afoot.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a surprise party.
With surprise bears.
Ren is.
What was the surprise?
Ren's just gonna take a moment to study the Ted's cousin, and then just sort of meld back in with the group as they start moving again.
All right. So all right. So where were we? So what were your aims there, Fuck? Where are you going? What is your current destination?
Back to the palace, of course. I am assuming that Prince Ted will be following me shortly, and then we will go from there.
Okay, so you want the rest of the crew to stay here?
The pursers are currently taking their luggage, if there is such a thing, luggage, as it were, to the
Bellhops?
adjacent building, which is a very fancy sort of like, almost like an embassy, but it's still under it's a Delphinian embassy, but very, very lavish, just as the palace is.
A Delphinian embassy on Delphi?
So
it's not an embassy. I call it a freaking hotel, man.
It's basically a quote unquote house. It's a large guest house for royal visitors, essentially.
It's the Royal Cabana.
That's perfect.
And so yes, you're all indicated that where your rooms will be by the various bellhops and pursers, and I think half Lorin, half Lina, or Flynn will requests brings Ted along to the palace to show him where he will be staying.
Oh, and they all have those TVs where you get the information about the guest services and all that.
Well, I suppose we'll see you for dinner, Captain.
Help me.
Wish we could, not authorized.
All right.
Just don't kill anyone, Captain.
All right.
Remember my advice.
So I before you go off with Ted, I want just a quick moment with Lasan. Mizaka, as they're walking into her, and he goes, "I got him taken care of."
Got him what?
Got him to.
He cut out there a bit there.
Oh no! Oh no! Am I better?
Yep.
You seem to be good, yeah.
Yeah, my ping is really low. I was saying I turn over to Lasan and I open up my issue.
Just say it immediately.
Is that better?
Yes. Let's see.
Okay, so I open up that Starfleet issue suitcase we all carry, and I'm like, I got him covered next time he's free, and I pull out a bottle of Ted's favorite tequila.
I don't think that Dr. Jar would encourage the drinking, but I think he might need it. Also, I don't understand everyone's frustration with this young man. He seems very nice. Then again, I also haven't been here before, and I suppose whenever I have to give quote-unquote tourist
I'm just having this mental image of everyone in their dress uniforms or just standard duty uniforms looking at Lasan in the tourist outfit right now.
Yeah. I'm being that person again, aren't I?
Very much so. It's okay. We love you for it.
Just slowly,
She's in the spirit of the occasion.
You're already going, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
It's your guys' turn now. That's all I wanted to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there and jump up back to the Valkyrie.
Ooh.
Jaro is just being the only former commander, bridge officer on the ship. Where's the bridge? There's the bridge. And he gets a communication from Delphi. It's the tech support people.
Well, this should be interesting. What's their proper title besides tech support?
The Starfleet Communications Liason Office.
Starfleet Communications Liaison. This is Lieutenant Charo of the USS Valkyrie. How can I help you?
Good. Are you the communications officer of the Valkyrie? Because
yes, I am.
Oh, great. Delphi is a bit of an interesting situation when it comes to the communications. They've got their older local formats and communications protocol that we basically provide a gateway and transcoding services for local Delphinians to access Federation materials and for Federation citizens to access Delphinian materials. And we basically act as the intermediary between the local non-standard Federation technology and the rest of the Federation. And I was just wondering if we could use your help.
Of course. What can I do to help?
There are various plans for the captain's official arrival, welcoming greeting. I'm not quite sure of the details, but this will definitely be covered by local news and situations, and our duties require us to prepare that for the rest of the Federation. The thing is, a lot of the Delphinian royalty act as ambassadors and are currently off-world right now. So we will, with this situation, we are expecting quite an additional load on our systems, and we were basically just worrying if you would be able to assist us in just providing the extra technical support for people that may not have standard Federation or local citizen. Just helping us make sure everything works together fine. Would you be able to assist us with that?
I don't see why not. What can I do?
Great. Well, if you could come and visit us in person, we'll be able to walk through our processes and give you a finer detail in what we need. I'm sending up coordinates for you right now.
Of course. There is the biggest grin on Charo's face. He is being invited to a telecom relay thingy. He is going to play so hard.
And this is can you give me an insight, either security or engineering? I'll let whatever's higher.
Inside engineering would be higher.
Okay, give me an inside engineering check.
Do any of my focuses apply?
I'm gonna yes.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. What's my difficulty?
This will be a difficulty 2, I'm gonna say.
Okay, I will buy an extra die with a momentum.
Okay.
And... All right. Boop.
Okay, so you definitely have that and provide additional momentum to the crew.
Oops.
So, what you realize is if you wanted to, this is a perfect opportunity to insert some kind of plant or a bug in the Delphinian communication system.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes, this is exactly where my brain was going. Yes.
So if you were, I'm going to say that you have the opportunity to prepare something to slip in to the communications network before you beam down.
Totally gonna do that.
All right then. So we beam down, and that's where we're gonna have to leave for today. Just as
No!
This is what you get for leaving Charo in charge.
And this is
That's the great line runs
Thank you for joining us. It was really excited, really happy that we're back in Valkyrie, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as I did, and I think the rest of the crew did. Goodbye.